used this extensively. She has presented at the national, actually multinational level at the US recently, and will be presenting these or probably more, material at the Global Convention of BNI in Hawaii coming up in just about a week. So you are the lucky participants who taking a sneak peek at what material the rest of the world is going to be partaking of very soon. And so without further ado, I want to hand it over to Moji to take on this presentation.
Thank you very much, Daly. And I just again want to welcome everybody. And like Daly said, for those of you who are not part of BNI, just want to remind you or tell you a little bit about who we are. We're the world's largest business networking organization with over, I wish that was 3 million, but it should be 300,000 members in 77 countries. BNI offers exclusive networking opportunities for business professionals. And we have a proven referral marketing system, which actually this year BNI has been around for about 40 years, working with business owners around the globe. And personally, one of my biggest ways in which I have grown as a business owner is as a result of this organization. So very proud to be part of what we do here. In Southern Alberta, we have just about 400 members. And I love what we do to support and help each other grow. And if this is something that might be of interest to you, please reach out to myself or any BNI member that you know in your network, and we'll be delighted to help you with that. So moving right along, I know that we are all in different places in our journey with AI, but I thought it might be good to just start with um, maybe even understanding a little bit of where you are. So, on a scale of, say, 1 to 10, where will you rate your comfort level with AI? If you would just take a couple of seconds to just put that in the chat, just to give me an idea where everybody's at, that would be amazing. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your comfort level with AI? Okay, we're getting lots of 6, 2, 5, 5. I'm seeing 7. Love it. You're probably you're being a little bit modest there. Chris, yep. Randy, love it. This is also telling me that there are people whom we can call upon within the BNI uh, within the BNI community that will help us in future. And Bruno, you know what? I was just like you. I will be very honest. Actually, I'm going to briefly share my story of how I decided to get involved. But anyways, so we're all over the map, and I love the fact that everybody's here, even the people who feel like that they're at a 10, because I believe that for sure there's always room to learn from one another. But when the AI revolution hit, oh, Bruno's here to learn from the best. Welcome. Thank you. I hope you're not disappointed. So when the AI revolution hit, I had just returned to school. Some of you are aware that I just completed an MBA at the University of Calgary. And I think I walked into class and realized, holy smokes, how am I going to make this work? It just seemed like there was more work than I could wrap my mind around. That on top of, working in BNI and trying to do a whole bunch of other things, I quickly realized that I might have been a little bit in over my head, and that my hours, I just needed more hours in my day. And so when I was first introduced to AI, I couldn't, I just, yeah, to me, it just blew my mind how much time I was able to get back and get things done. And I just felt like, for one, I felt like I wanted our members in BNI and definitely Southern Alberta. I think we all do well if everybody is successful. And so we wanted to make sure that we're helping to spread this word and helping to prepare us for what the future is going to look like with AI. So Especially for those of us who are still kind of like wondering what on earth is this thing? Should I get involved? Should I not? Our agenda today begins with what is AI, and I'll talk a little bit about. You might be surprised to see how much you're already doing with AI that you don't even realize is AI. So we'll talk about the difference between narrow AI, generative AI. I know there's all different levels, but just for the scope of this webinar, we'll just cover those two. And then the next thing we'll look at is why AI for business. Why is it important for you as a business owner, whether you're in Southern Alberta or Bruno in France? Why is it important for you to pay attention to what is going on in this space? What are some key benefits that you could reap from it? What are some risks that we need to watch out for? And then we'll talk about strategic implementation and not just implementation. I use the word strategic because the AI space right now is so, I mean, like you wake up every day. I feel like I've been to AI conferences where I'm like, I thought I knew AI. I'm in the dark ages because every day there's not just something new, there's myriads of new things. And so one of the things that I think is important for us as business owners is to be able to keep an eye on what's important and be able to differentiate between, make sure that we're not just chasing what's the word I'm looking for? Shiny objects, right? Because again, as business owners, it's very important that our time is strategically spent. So exciting times for sure, but we wanted to be, I just want us to be strategic in our approach to growing AI in our business. So we'll talk about some developing an AI policy, no matter, even if you're just, it's just you in your company and you don't have a team, that's okay too. How can you design an AI policy that allows you to move on and not get yourself or your clients, into situations that you don't want to? We'll talk about some tools and resources, and depending on how much time we have, I'd love to do a live demo with someone. So I want to just plant the seed now. If you have a business, sorry, a challenge in your business that you would love for us to work on together, I'll be happy to, maybe see if we can do one or two, depending on how much time we have. So bear that in mind, and you can, when the time comes, pop something into, the chat or into the Q&A with the panelists and hosts. So, and then we're going to have some next steps. We'll have opportunity for Q&A. And I am also going to share this, the next webinar that we'll do. I'll be sharing some details around that. And it will be about helping to make 2025 your best year yet using some of these tools. And again, like I said, I will be sharing that toward the end. So with that said, one of the things I really appreciate in my what's it called in my approach to learning is if you have a question, please feel free to pop it into the chat. Actually, one of my best quotes that I have learned in this space is I forget his name right now. He's a professor out of Harvard, and he said, this is a good time to ask stupid questions. In other words, if you think it's stupid, it's probably a valid question, especially in this space. And remember, if you have that question, very likely somebody else does. So please, when questions come to mind, please pop them into that Q&A, and Dilly is helping me monitor the Q&A as well so that we can see, what questions you have and hopefully address them. So yeah, and with that, I'm just going to move ahead there. So what is AI? Most of you, we've all been using AI. I mean, in the last 2, 3 years since ChatGPT was launched, we've definitely heard a lot more about AI in the media. But, every time you've used Siri or you've used, Google Maps, or you've used, recommendations on Netflix or Amazon, I mean, those are all forms of artificial intelligence. And The difference between then and now is that was what was called narrow AI, where the machine was basically using information that it had previously. With ChatGPT came what we now call generative AI, where it's starting to predict. Actually, the GPT in ChatGPT stands for Generative Predictive Transformer. So, just to give you a quick demo and a very, very basic demo of what's going on inside ChatGPT is if I say the phrase um, once upon a, I want you to type into the chat, what do you think comes next? Yep,
Time, yes.
absolutely. And you know why? Isn't that because 9 out of 10 times when we say once upon a, but imagine if I said once upon a child. Well, those of you in Calgary will know what I'm talking about. That is a store that exists here in Calgary, right? We say once upon a time because 9 out of 10, maybe 99 out of 100 times, the response to that is a time, right? So basically, that's what ChatGPT does. It looks at, all the information that's out there, and based on what information it has, it predicts what it is that you need. And it is getting scarily accurate, based on, again, you look at over 20, 25 years of information, right? That is being collected across the globe, actually, maybe even more than that. I'm starting to date myself. Uh, Information that's been collected across the globe. It has a lot of data to pick from. And so that's a little bit of how, that predictive portion of ChatGPT is generated. So, for those of you who are more familiar, you probably use Close, you use DALI, you use Copilot. A lot of these tools are now what we would call predictive tools, and there's all kinds of predictions as to the future and where we're going with this. And excuse me, but I won't get lost in that because that's not the point of this webinar. Why should you care about AI? I actually remember listening to a gentleman speak when I went to a session. It was about 2 years ago, and he said, AI won't take your business. Your competition who uses AI might. And so you start to think, okay, maybe I should listen. And so, um, yes, there's a fear of loss, and I get it that's not everything, and I don't think that should be the basis of why we do anything. I think we definitely need to, as business owners, look at our businesses strategically and see how we want to move forward. But you want to make sure that you're not losing ground in your business as a result of what you don't know. A quick question, a quick story that comes to mind was when Kodak had the first rights. I know some of you will be aware of this story. They had the first rights to digital photography. They designed the first softwares in that area, and they buried it because they felt like no, it will set up competition for print. And here we are today, right? The company went belly up because they couldn't bear to look at the face, to look at the reality of what's going on. So I really want to encourage us as business owners not to bury our heads in the sand. So here's the result of a survey that was done by Forrester, and you can see it. I'm not necessarily going to read every sentence, but this year alone, a 300% increase in investment. 57% of businesses expect to use it to help them improve customer experience. 20% of major retailers will use it to personalize their brand. 20% of workers will use it in some way, shape, or form. And most of you on this call have indicated that you actually do use AI already in your work. And 80% of executives say that AI boosts productivity and creates new positions. And so again, when we look at the results of these surveys and stuff, I really believe that it behooves us to make sure that we are staying on track. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is this statistic around how long it took for various things over the years to get to 100 million users, and then how long it took ChatGPT. When I don't know about you, but when I saw this, it literally blew my mind. Like, so going from Google Translate took 78, I believe that's months, sorry, to get to 100 million users. Uber, we all know, how much we've come to rely on Uber, Telegram, Spotify, Pinterest, Instagram. And then we get down to ChatGPT. And in less than 2 months, ChatGPT goes from 0 users to over 100 million users across the globe. So my question to you is, if you are not using AI and your clients are encountering AI everywhere else they go, what are you going to do to to um, to ensure that you're not leaving money on the table, right? Because your competition is no longer just that person who does what you do; it's everything else that your clients experience wherever they go. So with that, I want to move on to what are some of the benefits that people have said. Again, I touched on that a little bit in the earlier slides. Increased efficiency and productivity. People find cost savings. Oh, sorry. I'm going in the wrong direction here. How do I go back? Perfect. Okay. So increased savings, cost savings, enhanced customer engagement, data-driven decision making, addressing labor shortages. People are finding that they're getting a lot more done with fewer staff, identifying business growth opportunities, and also identifying operational improvements. These are some of the things that business owners have said they have experienced as a result of using AI in their businesses. So this is probably the one that really amazed me the most, and probably the reason why you're here. This is a result of surveys by Forbes and Investopedia as to how many hours business owners say they are saving per week using AI. And I can definitely, Dilly and I have actually chatted about this a little bit. I'm like, isn't that a little bit, optimistic? And when I've actually, every time I've sat down to try and identify what it has been for me, definitely, I'm more toward that upper side of the 40 hours per week compared to the 20 hours per week. Obviously, I mean, it's going to depend on what you do, how much you use it, excuse me, and to what extent you use it. But research and planning, business owners are finding savings of 8 to 10 hours a week. Data entry, 5 to 10 hours a week. Order invoicing, content creation. I can definitely attest to that, I know a number of you on this webinar. I've seen content creation that you're churning out there, and I know that some of you use AI, not in a this is a bad thing sort of way, but in a good on you for using this to stay connected with your clients and prospects. Client communications, scheduling appointments, marketing, bookkeeping, inventory. These are all ways in which you can use AI in your business to ensure that you are getting more done in less time, and also getting it done more efficiently. Now, having said that, each of these could be an entire webinar on its own. And for those of you that are BNI members, we're going to be scheduling some implementation sessions where we will come together and actually implement some of these things. We'll make them more like working sessions where we can work together and it won't just be like a delivery of information, but that it will actually be doing the implementation together. And so keep an eye out for that. We're going to be launching that in the coming weeks and stores and moving forward. So yeah, sharing time savings per week reported by business owners. Again, Forbes.com and Investopedia have that information. Okay, I've been talking quite a bit. Dilly, are we seeing any questions? Is there anything I need to be aware of?
No questions so far.
Wow. Either I am clear as mud or everybody's way ahead. But please, like I said, don't hesitate to pop something in the chat or the questions if you have one. Okay. Moving ahead. This is actually results of top ways like Oh, AI. Love it. Love it. Love it, Chris. I cannot wait. Very excited to see what the possibilities are. So, Forbes Advisor business survey. Top ways business owners are using artificial AI. 56% in customer service. I mean, think about it. If you're not doing customer service, very likely, I mean, I'm not quite sure what business doesn't do customer service. So at the end of the day, we are all impacted. It's what we do. Yeah, thank you, Dale. Speeds everything up. Fraud management, digital personal assistance. These are all things. Production for those of you who are in marketing, either for yourselves or helping clients. These are just different ways in accounting, supply chain, recruitment and talent sourcing, audience segmentation. Again, like I said, these are just different ways that businesses have said that they use AI in their business. So the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's, oh, sorry, I missed something there. Where does BNI Canada want to tackle first? Great question, Catherine, and we can definitely have a conversation around that. Keeping books organized instead of a spreadsheet. I love that, Vicky. That is definitely, those are things that we can, I think when in planning things out, those are some of the things that we'll sit down and get some input as to where people want to go with this. But for sure, making sure that we not just talk about these things, but actually set up plans to implement together. That's very excited about that. Okay, let's talk about the risks that are involved with AI. It's not all fun and games, and I just want to be very realistic. Again, I date myself when I say we are back. It's almost to me what I'm seeing in this space reminds me of the days of AOL. I know. There are those of you on the webinar that have no idea what I'm talking about, and good on you. But it is a space right now that is so fluid and things are moving that I think the more careful we are, the more solidly we build our foundation. ICQ, oh my goodness, Trina, no way. Anyways, yes, the more we build a solid foundation, the higher the likelihood that everything will come pulled out from under us. For the ones of us who, for example, I remember when we first started with, on the internet and stuff, who would have thought that AOL wouldn't be there today, or Netscape, or any of these other organizations that are no longer in existence today. So anyways, lots of risks. Let's just go through that. There is privacy and security involved. Please do not put client data. Don't put anything out there that you would not want access to, because again, there is very little regulation in this space at the moment, but it's just a matter of time, and you don't want to get caught having played, Russian roulette with your data or that of your clients. So just be very, very careful in the way that you are using it. There's still a lot of bias. Very likely, again, because of the information, because it's pulling from a database where, certain people, groups are better represented than others. Your responses are going to show those biases. So male rather than female, racial bias, and all of that has been seen in AI results. So you really want to be careful when you're looking at anything with AI to make sure that the information that you're getting is valid. I actually one of my personal policies around AI is I do not use AI for things that I do not understand. And I say that in the sense of, or if I do use it, I will fact check it. I will get somebody who knows what they're talking about to assist me with that process. There's still a lot of talk around fairness and IP, people who feel like, hey, AI should not be able to pull information from the internet and just use it. So again, we need to be aware of those types of risks that are involved. Dependency is another one. Are we going to become so dependent on AI that we can't think for ourselves? Again, valid issues, but I also, my other argument is, think about it. We no longer know how to use the sky to decide what direction we're going. And my kids probably don't know how to read a map, but with Google Maps, so yeah, every time man has moved forward in terms of technology, we have traded something for another. And at some point, we have to be able to ask ourselves, okay, do the benefits outweigh the risks, right? So those things are there. I talked about compliance, about regulations. That's still coming. There's the issue of job placement. Someone said parents used to fear the calculator. There you go. So true. There's the issue of displacement, people who feel like AI is going to replace them. I can guarantee you AI will not replace you. AI can help you do your work faster and better and help you serve your clients better. That's the way I'm seeing it now. But I'm definitely open to hearing people's feedback on that. But I feel like if you get ahead of it and not be afraid of it, you can use this tool to serve more clients in shorter periods of time and really excel at what you do. Uh, you know, it's still hard to explain. There's a lot of stuff there that doesn't make sense, and it feels like it's not transparent. There are technical limitations and glitches. You will see, for those of you that have used ChatGPT, it says right there on the bottom, it can give you erroneous information. So again, be careful with stuff like that. I can share with you some ways that you can get around that. Some of you have probably heard this command. Whenever you give ChatGPT or any AI tool a command, one of the ways that you can mitigate what it does is do not hallucinate. In other words, don't make up stuff. If it doesn't exist out there, I don't want to see it in your response to me. Or recently, actually, I think it was Ob who shared with me, ask it to cite its sources so that, again, you're mitigating some of those risks that are involved. And then it might impact your customer trust. So again, when you're using AI, it is good to disclose that you are using AI so that your customers are not taken unawares and stuff like that. I put this link down here because we won't have time to go into it, but it's a study, and you can, if you grab that title, you can look it up yourself. And it is there's a question right now about the ethics of AI. In other words, if a car had to make a choice, like so an AI vehicle, an autonomous vehicle, no, not autonomous, an AI enabled vehicle, if it had to make a choice between killing the driver and killing a bunch of people on the side of the road, what choice will that car make? Right? And so ethical issues that are involved, again, all of these are issues that we're going to have to work through. This is a problem that our generation has, and we're going to have to work through them thoughtfully and with consideration as we move forward. So, again, all this to say, and I'm sure that there's a lot more than this, but all this to say that there are issues out there and there are risks involved with AI. So, please think about using it responsibly. So, um, yes, for sure, Ryan, depending on what it is. But again, we can take that offline. But yes, there are copyright concerns, and you want to make sure, especially like for those of you who have kids, I'm a student right now, and I know that AI generated material is not considered original thoughts. So again, just being very, very careful around, how you use information that might be other people's information. Okay, so moving on to strategic implementation. I love this quote. This is the gentleman I was trying to quote earlier, Bararak, Bararako. He said, embed ethical considerations from the very beginning. These are boundaries or parameters you do not want to cross. They could involve privacy, safety, or bias. Tell your team which issues you want to hear about as they arrive. And issues will arise. There's no doubt about it. If you start to use AI tools in your business, issues will arrive. The important thing is to deal with them as they arise and not kind of sweep them under the rug. So here's the way I'm kind of looking at them. So your considerations are you want to make sure you define clear goals. We're not just using AI because, oh, wow, this is a really cool tool. What do you want to accomplish? I want to grow my business. I want to streamline operations. I want to use it to generate innovative ideas to help grow market uh, to help grow my market share. These are all different goals and use cases. And you want to make sure that as you go in, that you go in with a clear understanding. Is it set in stone? No. It will be a living document for you, and you're gonna, you'll possibly update and grow that document with yourself. But I think it was, I'm trying to remember, Churchill, he said, plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. In other words, it is the process of sitting down to actually make that plan that makes you a better leader, that makes you a better business owner. And so, really, it's not the plan itself, it's the planning process. And so, really sitting down to think out how do I want to utilize this, having your clear goals. Next thing is your data readiness. You want to make sure, again, depending on the size of your organization, that your data is ready. Those of you, again, who have been in this computer space as long as I have, know what the term GIGO means. By the way, anybody know what GIGO means? Want to put in the chat for me? Nobody knows what GIGO means? I
G
am so
GIGO. Okay.
absolutely, Dr. Wills.
Right.
Garbage in, garbage out. Absolutely, that's what it is. So make sure your data is clean. Make sure that whatever you're going to feed, if you're going to ask, so one of the things I do is, feed it my monthly statement and say, based on this statement, what are some of, some of the reports that I've generated in my business? What can I streamline to make my operations more effective or efficient? If you're giving it garbage, you're gonna get garbage. On the way out. So be very careful about that. Your ethical responsibility and then your workforce preparedness. Especially if you have staff, it is very, very important that you start to prepare your staff. I've had heartbreaking conversations with friends who, and I'm talking big organizations, who said, my boss said, we can use AI to do so much more, and so here's half the staff and double the goal, right? Without the tools, without the preparedness, and just throwing them at it. You've probably heard of all the layoffs that are going on in a lot of the bigger companies out there. You can't do that to people, and definitely as small business owners, for the most part, most of us realize that that is a very futile way to try and run a business. So make sure that you're starting to have these conversations with your staff, make sure that they understand what it is that they need to do, and then think about scalability and integration. Again, as you're bringing tools on, yes, this is exciting, but will it be around in 5 years? Will it be, I know, for example, when it comes to ChatGPT, there's ChatGPT came out first, but then there's so many other programs that have come out since. And, there's been times I've been like, you know what, I really like this one. And you know what, I really like that one. But then I ask myself, is this scalable? Will it be here? Does it have the kind of, because at this time now, there's just a lot of movement in the space, and you want to make sure that you're not just going with the newest and the shiniest thing in the space, but you're thinking about scalability and how does it integrate with everything else you do. Okay. So with that, I just wanted to now share with you some of the top tools that I have seen out there. Oh, sorry. I am once again clicking in the wrong spot. Bear with me, just trying to move Zoom out of my way here. Okay, so monthly traffic, as you can see, by far over oh, is that 3 billion? Holy smokes. Anyways, so ChatGPT, the top 10, Canva, DeepL, Gemini, some of you may recognize some of these. I've used some of them. I haven't used them all, but those are the top 10 AI tools that are being used right across the space. Depending on what you're doing, whether generating ideas, using it for website creation, using it for writing. Again, these are some of the top AI tools to the right that are being used in the various spaces. And like I said, for those of you that are BNI members, we're going to sit down and actually look at some of these things that we can implement together so that you can benefit from them in your business. So moving right on, I'm gonna focus on, just for the rest of time together and for doing the demos and stuff, I want us to focus on basically the chat tools. And I want to thank, oh, sorry, we want to talk prompt engineering here real quick. There's a lot of talk around prompt engineering, and people talk about, prompt certification and all of that stuff. Honestly, what I've found personally is if I kind of humanize the conversation and I talk to ChatGPT or Claude or whoever I'm having a conversation with, as though I was talking to an assistant or somebody or a consultant actually that's working with me. Um, it begins with a clarified desired outcome. If I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish, it's very, very difficult for whatever tool I'm using to try and help me get there. So the clearer your desired outcome, the easier it's going to be for you to get the outcome that you're looking for. Give it detailed instructions. Give it as much instructions as you think you will need to give, say an assistant that you hired on in your job. In some cases, I actually say to it, what questions do you have for me? I want you to create this. What questions do you have for me? And it will tell me what questions to ask it around what it is that we're trying to create. And we'll spend some time together doing that. So that's asking AI for prompt assistant. Tailor the prompts to your desired output. And when you get the output, it may not be perfect. And that's okay too. Hey, I didn't like that. I've done things with ChatGPT where I'm like, yeah, that sounds too uppity. I don't speak like that. Speak in my language. And because I've used it in enough times now, it knows kind of my voice and will speak more to my voice. And it will, so together we reiterate and refine the results that we're looking to get. AI psychology, believe it or not, there is actually such a field. I forget which class I was when one of my profs was like, if you say please and thank you, you will actually get more, you will get better results than you would if you don't. Now, the one that really, I still used it yesterday. ChatGPT will say to you, no, I can't do that. You tell it you can do it. And half the time it comes back and gives me the results. So again, encouraging it, giving it a little bit more information and saying, go back and try this again. You can do it. And then you come back with the results. So again, think about that when you're prompting, because there are times when it will tell you cannot do something when it totally can. That one was a really good one for me. Understand its limitations. It can't do everything. So depending on what tools you're using, depending on whether you have a paid version or not of the different tools, there might be some limitations as to what you can get out of it. Sometimes I will actually go out of the tool itself and do a search and say, is Claude capable of this, or is ChatGPT capable of this? And based on that, I get to have a better understanding of what it is capable of doing. And then I've said this already, fact check AI outputs. Excuse me, especially on things that are critical or on information. Actually, Dilly and I use ChatGPT for when we travel. If we're in an area, we'll say, hey, give us a day's itinerary. We'd like to see places in nature in this city. And one time it gave us directions to this place, and we're looking at it going, huh? Why are we here? And so again, always fact check your AI outputs. So with that, I would love to do a demo. This is one that I actually I'm gonna do. I'll say let's start with an actually. Let me see how much time I have. Okay, I'm gonna come back to this one and just stop for a minute and see what questions do you have around AI before we go ahead, and I'm gonna ask somebody to bring up a situation that we can try and solve together. Questions? Don't all speak at once? Okay. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so far no questions, but John Breeze did comment in the Q&A that he really liked the distinction between using AI and AI, tools or AI-enabled tools. So just a comment.
Okay, thank you for that, John. I missed that, but and your comment about copyright is right as well. John is a writer and author, and he edits books as well. So really value your input on that. If anybody wants to speak, thank you for that, Ob. In your reactions, you can raise your hand to ask a question. We'd be happy to, and that Dilly will unmute you and allow you to speak. And I see John's hand is up. So
Oh, John's hand is up. Hi. Okay, don't see that. I don't see John's hand, so you can enable him
um,
and see him.
okay, let me see if I can. Interesting.
Hmm.
Okay, John, you should be able to speak. You'll need to unmute yourself first.
Um, sorry about that. I just went to check to see how it works, and I wasn't getting a response at my end.
And now you're talking. Not a problem. Not a problem.
Yes.
Thank you.
So the things people will do to hear their own voices. Sorry
I
about that.
know, I know. Anyway, thank you. Much
Thank you.
appreciated. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna ask who would like us to work on something together.
So please feel free to raise your hand.
Okay, Dr. Wells, thank you. I see another hand raised. Vicky, okay. Yeah, why don't we go for those two? I'm gonna go to Dr. Pat. Go ahead. And
I was just saying I'd like to work on a challenge together. I don't actually have one. This looks like a good challenge that you.
okay. Okay. Let me see if Vicky, this is a good challenge, but I wanted to see if there was something pressing that somebody has in the room. I'd rather go to that first so that in case we don't have time, that I'll be able to do that. But thanks, Dr. Wales. I definitely want us to work on something together. So, Vicky, I'm gonna allow here. Where's Vicky? Dilly, do you see Vicky's hand?
No.
Okay, Vicky, I am okay, please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hi,
Good.
nice to be a part of this. So when we want to be protective with people's names, especially when you're using AI, if I was trying to do like all my bookings coming up for Christmas for the parties without using their name or their business, but I want to make sure I followed through with all my aspects. Did we collect their deposit? Did they get the contract? Can you just take that out of your calendar and put it into AI? That's my challenge without disclosing names and business names.
Gotcha. Um, Vicky, I'd love to. That is a far more strategic implementation. And
Okay.
what I'm gonna say to that is there are tools that allow you to do that that
Perfect.
actually, for example, I believe that the enterprise version of ChatGPT will allow you to use it without using your information um, to train the app. So
Okay.
there's tools that allow you to do stuff like that. And if I saw if you and I sat down, I'm sure we could figure out what you're doing. But I just want to, because you asked, I wanted to share with you what the one time I was at an AI event, and this gentleman described how he is using AI for one of his clients, for who is a restaurant owner. And basically what they did was that the they saw that the bookings for the following week in the restaurant were low. And based on that, they generated a list of things that they could do for the next week or two that could actually bring people in. So it's like going to ChatGPT and actually, why don't we do that? You want to try that?
Sure.
I want to thank Ob for introducing me to Poe. I am still trying to figure out how it differs from the rest of the tools. But if you were going to, oh, bear with me. I thought I had my laptop plugged in, but I'm getting notification that I am low. So please bear with me.
Yeah, so while you're doing that, I just wanted to acknowledge the couple of comments that have been made. Dale, they say, yes, if you use the Teams or the enterprise version, it keeps it from being in the open market, just like you commented. And then Wilmer said that you can also have AI anonymize the content as well. So that's just some possibilities there.
Those are good.
Well, like Moji mentioned earlier, if you have any questions, the question does not have to be perfect. Absolutely, even if you're just thinking about it, please feel free to, you know, to put in the Q&A or as a comment. Okay, from Andrew Baker.
So one thing that AI cannot help you with is when your charger fails in the middle of a presentation. Please bear with me. I apologize for that.
Yes. And Andrew says, if I'm pasting into GPT, I'll first copy a draft into a new document, find and replace all and any people, company names, and call them JSmith, whatever, and control org, let GTP do its thing, then I inverse to keep information confidential. So again, just taking as much caution as possible.
Thank you for that, Andrew. It actually appears that it is not my it is not my charger. It is my battery that is not charging. So anyways, I will keep going and see how long. Dilly and I may need to switch laptops at some point, but thanks for your patience. So Vicky, I started to tell that story. So I wanted us to give it a quick try, and I'm gonna go. So Poe, I don't know if you all are familiar with Poe, but this is a tool that you can actually access, I don't know, probably upwards. Yeah, I'm seeing somebody's reaction there. Upwards of 50 AI tools within Poe. I don't know how they do it. The monthly subscription fee is the same as the ChatGPT subscription fee, but as you can see from within Poe, you can access Claude, you can access Llama, you can access Gemini. There's a whole bunch of things you can access from within it. But I'm going to share in a minute why I absolutely love Poe. It does have its limitations, I have found. There are certain things I can't do in it. But so, Vicky, back to you, the application I was looking at. So I would say something like, I am a restaurant. Oh, sorry, I have to allow it to use my. I am a restaurant owner who's, okay, trying to use my use microphone. I am a restaurant owner whose reservations for the coming week are lower than usual. What are some initiatives that I can take to increase reservations? Sound good? Okay,
Perfect.
let's go.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that impressive?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm looking at this now. And for those of you, I'm sure everybody can see my screen. Promotions and discounts, seasonal menu items, social media engagement, partnerships and collaboration, enhanced online presence. Some of them are things you can do immediately. Some of them are things that will take a little bit more time, but lots of great ideas here that Vicky could implement to bring in more clients. But so this is Poe itself giving me that response. So what if I said, you know what, I want to hear from ChatGPT on this. So I click on ChatGPT and ChatGPT gives me some of them are similar, some of them are different. Themed nights, for example, did not come up in the previous one. Online marketing did, collaborations did. I love Claude. It's fast becoming one of my favorite AI tools. So why don't we ask Claude to chime in? And here's again a whole bunch of other suggestions from Claude. Wine tasting dinner, chef's menu. Again, some of the items were on the previous one, but some of the items were not. Imagine as a business owner how long it would take you to generate the ideas we just generated in the last 60 seconds or so, right? And then it goes, would you like me to elaborate on any of these initiatives or provide specific implementation plans or steps? So, I mean, like, this is why I said generating the ideas is one thing, but being able to actually create the steps to implement these things is a whole different that's a whole different thing itself. So again, like I said, Vicky, we will embark upon some of these. We're going to schedule some sessions for us to be able to implement these together. And Dilly is graciously helping me with my, it seems to be charging now. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so Vicky, was that helpful?
Yes, that was really good. It's so
Yeah.
quick too.
It's so quick, and that's the other thing. I've done SWOT analysis. It has helped me identify like even competitors that I didn't know I had, right? I'm thinking, okay, so competition for BNI, what does that look like? Well, some of that competition is not other networking organizations. It's something totally different than what I would have thought. So it really gets you out of your own head and helps you get into a space where you're actually, it's just very realistic in terms of some of those things. So that was a quick demo that we did, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
Quick question before you go on.
Yes.
So Marina has asked the questions this session. Has it been recorded or is it being recorded? And will we see it in BNI Connect as an optional CE credit session?
Great question. Yes, it has been recorded. I will need to reach out to the BNI Connect team, Marina, to ensure that happens. But thank you for asking. Dilly, would you mind making a note for us to follow up on that?
I will do.
Thank you. Thank you, Vicky. Really appreciate your help with that. And so now I'm just going to go back to my, see if I can share my, okay. So back to the business, the initial session that I had. So for those of you that are in BNI, and again, this is applicable if you're not in BNI. In BNI, your power team is a group of people who you serve the same clients, but you're not competing for business. So for example, in this group, my power team of 2 is looking to grow to 6 in the next 90 days. We're looking for ethical business professionals in health and wellness that serve seniors. They offer complementary services. Ideal partners should share similar values, have a strong local presence, and demonstrate effective networking skills. Create a step-by-step plan, complete with prospect sources, email and phone scripts based on the 4DX approach, and create a tracking and evaluation process to help us accomplish our goals. So caveat before I start, when I first did this, I was very impressed with the results I got. Sorry, I'm going to need to go out of screen, from there to do it. But what I found was that I got better results when I split it up into segments. And you'll see in a minute what I'm trying to explain. So I'm going to stop it here. Right? So that's the first part of my prompt. Then when it gives me all of that information, I'm going to ask it to create a tracking process. So just so as you see that I'm copying and pasting what I had placed there, and then I'm just going to go to poll. And again, like I said, in my opinion, this is especially if you're thinking of starting out, it gives you the best bang for your buck, like of time, money, whatever it is. I do have a ChatGPT subscription as well. Again, like I said, I noticed that there are certain things I can do in ChatGPT that I can't do in Poe. But if somebody was starting out, I'd say definitely go to Poe to begin with. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to start a new chat, and then it's going to, I'm going to put in the prompt that I just copied. I could have read it as well, like I did with the other one. And then I'm just going to go see what it says to me. This is all from information that is sourced on the internet. It's not going into anybody's private databases. It's just reading up online, figuring out what is a BNI power team, and in faster than you and I could even say the sentence, splitting out who our potential referral partners are. So I'm just looking at this and going, holy smokes, like if your power team sat down and you sat down with 2 or 3 people and said, what can we do? So first step, identify complementary services. So for your health services, you're looking for home care providers, nutritionists, you're looking for fitness trainers, you're looking for physiotherapists, you're looking for, sorry, physical therapists, senior care lawyers, financial advisors. Remember, I said people who serve seniors, right? We want to be committed to ethical practices. Step 2, it tells me here are where you could go over the next 90 days to accomplish this goal. Attend health fairs, seniors expos, community events, use social media, ask current BNI members and contacts for introduction to potential partners, professional associations. And then next thing, it gives me an email campaign. It gives me the script for my email campaign. And then if I was calling people after sending the email, here's what I could say. Okay. So once we're done that, again, remember there are 2 of us. We're probably going to divvy up the work, whichever way we want to do it. We schedule meetings, we follow up. If we don't hear from them, it says follow up, in about a week and say, hey, I wanted to follow up on my previous email regarding the opportunity to join our BNI Power Team. Genuinely excited about the potential of collaborating with professionals like you to enhance the wealth and wellness of our community. If you're interested, I'd love to schedule a time to chat. On and on and on we go. It gives you a time overview and what to do. So just want to hear in the chat, what are some of the things that come to mind for you as you read this? Love to see some, just some input from you all. Did I lose the chat or nobody's talking?
So while we're waiting for those, there have been a few conversations going on in the chat. And again, thank you to Ab and to Andrew for answering some of those questions. One question, I don't know if I missed it now. Do you recommend asking for revisions to something you already like multiple times?
Absolutely. Listen, before I came on this session, I gave it my outline and I said, am I delivering on the promises I made? What's missing? What do I need to ensure I have? So I ask it for reviews. I have actually, who I learned this from, my brother-in-law was looking for work at one point and he set up his resume for a job application that he'd done. And he said, I gave my resume, I gave the job application to ChatGPT and I gave it my resume and my cover letter. And he said, help me make it better. Absolutely. So great question. Thank you. I'm not sure who asked that question, but
That was Trina. Yes.
Excellent question.
Okay. Can you demonstrate this competition? Okay, I'll let any response to your question there. We don't see any right now.
Okay, not a problem. But again, excuse me, by following the structured approach, you can effectively expand your BNI Power Team to 6 members. So imagine you're in a chapter where there's 2 of you passing business back and forth, and you now grow that team to 6. What happens to your business as you continue to work on a plan like that? It just, to me, it's like, okay, let's keep it simple. Sometimes we talk about growing your chapter, and that's great, but you know what? What if we just work on growing my power team? What if we just work on who knows, likes, and trusts me enough that they can send me business? If we just keep it to that and we stay focused on that, how much further are we able to get in growing our businesses, growing our chapter? Now, imagine if not only your chapter, not only your power team, but all the other power teams in your chapter grew, and now you've got that many more people referring business to one another. How much more powerful is this going to be for us? So, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, just a quick note, quick question here. Something Bruno had asked a question regarding demonstrating competitors, but I want to Bruno, if you could raise your hand so that we allow you to actually ask that question verbally, that would be helpful. Bruno, if you could raise your hand.
Awesome. Bruno, I've got you there. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna see if I can. I think I have too many things on the go. I see your hand, but it's not letting me. Dilly, are you trying to give Bruno access?
Yes, if I don't see his hand, but if I do, I will definitely give him access.
Oh, there I see you. Okay, allowed to talk.
Okay, I see his hand now.
Okay, Bruno,
Yeah.
I unmuted you, but just give me 1 minute to finish my thought here, and then I'll ask you to speak. Does that sound good?
Perfect.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
And for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, Bruno's actually one of our executive directors from France joining us on this call. So real pleasure to have you, sir. So I just showed how this was generated originally in Poe. Mistral, I don't even know who's behind Mistral. I didn't get that, but I wanted to show you how, just like I did with the previous one, we could do that same chat, same request in, say, Mistral, and have it generate something totally. And that's the other thing. You do it in ChatGPT. If you don't like the results it gives you, ask it to regenerate what it is. Like I did this previously in Poe. The welcome packet was not one of the things, or welcome packet was not one of the things it recommended. And look at it here. And so, yeah, so now I'm going to try Llama is another one of those chat tools. And voila, sets it up a whole different way. Days 1 to 5, days 6 to 15. Here's what you do for each of these things. Just brilliant plans. Again, I believe that any of these will work. Just follow through with them, measure your results, evaluate them, and go back as needed. It also, in this case, gave me the phone script, when to make the calls, schedule meetings, schedule interviews, and all of that. Sometimes if I get enough variation in the responses, I will actually ask it to combine all of the results. And I would say, eliminate repetition, but combine all the thoughts from the perspectives. And it gives me a more robust plan with which to move forward. Okay. Thanks for your patience, Bruno. You go, sir.
It's okay. Well, I was just asking the possibility to demonstrate what you were talking about, but you said you tried to have some feedback from AI about the competitors of BNI, and it made you think out of the box. So if you could show how you do that in Poe or
Love
whatever.
it. So Bruno, just to make this, customize this to you, what city could I use for the chat?
Well, Paris, actually.
Perfect. Okay, so I am a BNI director. I don't know why I'm typing. In Paris, France. Who would be the competition that I should be aware of for my business? And this is me just talking, right? You could probably fashion that a lot better. Okay. Does this look? This is what I mean by you wouldn't typically think of LinkedIn as competition to BNI, but it is, in my opinion, it's like, oh, I need to be aware of that, right? It's not competition in the sense of, oh, we're fighting for business, but it's competition in the sense of that's an alternative place where people can network, right? And so co-working spaces, right? And so, Bruno, is this kind of what you're looking for?
Yes, but it's yes, it makes me think out of the box for some other boxes to tick, but I don't see the real competitors in this list actually.
None of them. Okay.
None of them.
And here are some of these things that and it could be that there's not a whole lot of competition for you in Paris, but I see this isn't something I asked it for, right? It says strategies to differentiate. So again, it's giving me tools, and I could come back to it and say, tell me more, what are some other unique propositions? So I can go in depth in each and every one of those steps, right? And ask it how I can, make stand out better in my business as a result of that.
As we are working of course, on the English language, would it be a barrier to the French data that is online?
That could be
Let's
too.
say, I know competitors. Of course, I know my competitors, most of them. Maybe I don't know all the data they have online, but maybe the AI doesn't really catches what makes them competitors. It's a
So,
question.
what my guess is, if you did
Yes.
the search, you will get different results. You know why? It knows my IP address. It knows where I am. I'm in Canada.
Okay.
You did this same search, I bet you, I'd love to hear, let me know. If you
Okay.
do that for Paris, in Paris, I'm guaranteed you're going to get different results. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll try that.
not a problem. Thank you again. Really appreciate your
You're welcome. Thanks.
Okay, so just moving right on, I do want to get us out of here by 4:30 as promised. So just bear with me for a second. I just want to remove the. Okay, perfect. So, like I said, there's so much that we can do in this space. Just going to go back to my slideshow. Okay, so I have a few prompts here that if you wanted to take a screen capture of, that you can experiment with for your business. And I just wanted to share that with you before we go to wrap up. Again, the URL for Poe is just poe.com. Poe has a free version, so you don't even have to pay for it. Like, honestly, for a lot of these things, take it for a test drive. Don't feel like you have to pay, because you could end up with a whole bunch of subscriptions, and then you find out, yeah, this one was not as useful as the other. But if you're using something regularly, like I used Poe for like a week or two, and I thought, you know what, I could probably benefit from a paid version of it before I went ahead and subscribed to a paid version. So we've done that. So here are a few other prompts that I thought, you might find beneficial for strategic planning and goal setting. Outline a strategic plan for my, restaurant business aimed at doubling revenues in the next 3 years. Focus on market expansion, customer acquisition, and product innovation. Include a SWOT analysis. Again, if I was going to do this, I will do that SWOT analysis as a second step, so that because you can continue the conversation and it will ask you, do you want me to go into details in any of these? So there's one prompt that you can use depending on fill in the blank with your specific industry. The next thing you want to, this is around innovation. Suggest innovative products and services for my coaching practice to help meet evolving market demands and help create new revenue opportunities. And you'd be surprised. You'd think, oh, you know what? It's all been done, or someone else has done it already, but it will come up with a ton of ideas. Some of them will resonate with you, some of them won't. And the ones that do, you can start to drill down a little bit further on those. Another one is provide a financial analysis template for my, I don't know, for my consulting practice to regularly assess our financial health, identify areas for cost savings and strategies for profit and maximization. For profit maximization. So again, you're looking at your business and you're like, I'm making a lot more money than is showing on my, it doesn't look like that in my bank account. What are some areas where I can trim the fat? And you'd be surprised. It will look at stuff and say, based on industry, on industry averages and stuff, here are some areas you might want to look at in order to improve your numbers in those areas. Operational efficiency and productivity. This is this one. So ask it to evaluate the current operational processes of your business, recommend technologies and methodologies to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and increase productivity. Sometimes I will give it a prompt and it will say, I need more information. Can you tell me, what kind of tools you're currently using and what kind of tools are available and stuff like that. And sometimes even the questions it asks me have helped me become a better business owner, because it's like, oh, I didn't think about that before in my business. And you just find that you're upping your game as an entrepreneur in that space. Wrapping up, I'd like to share some resources that I have found incredibly, beneficial. This is AI news, AI resources. Again, there's a lot of stuff out there, but I'm hoping that this will help you realize things that are out there that you might be able to benefit from. So this one is a website called 700 plus ChatGPT prompts for entrepreneurs. It says ChatGPT, but you could probably use it on Poe or any of the other tools. So if you want to take a screen capture there, hope that's useful. Forbes, they've, again, because they're in that space, constantly evaluating stuff. They had 20 AI tools to supercharge your business. I'm sure that these are, I forget when I took this screenshot, but maybe in the last week or two, there's other stuff. So again, the truth is, it's not about, am I using the latest and the best? It's about, am I using what works for my business and helps me serve my clients better? So continue to bear that in mind as you do that. For those of you that are content creators, this is Jody Cook, I find, is just a great person to follow and work with in this space. Content creation is probably one of the most powerful areas of where you can use AI right now in your business. And then this is another website that I've found to be very helpful. And I like his because it organizes the tools in categories. So if you're looking for AI tools for marketing, or AI tools for finance, or AI tools for productivity, for self-improvement, depending on the categories that you need, you can click on those categories and it will show you what the tools are in that area. So again, one of my favorite websites to look for new tools.
Sorry, before we go to that slide,
Yeah.
just to highlight a couple of comments that very useful comments that have been made. Catherine, thank you. Just talking about the prompts to find competitors. Say, look, you will get something different if you actually specify direct, competitors as opposed to indirect competitors. So thank you, Catherine, for that. And then Dale kind of highlighted very quickly that AI can help you pull text out of picture. And again, very cool. So somebody asked if we're going to get this slide deck. Actually, I would like to. Could you answer that question?
Yeah, actually, I'll work with the BNI Connect team to see if we can put it on BNI University. Sorry, I shouldn't call it that. It's BNI Business Builder. And so, yeah, make sure to get that to you. Thank you for asking.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you, Dilly. So moving on, I just wanted to share, again, like I said at the beginning, we want to help you make sure that 2025 is your best year yet. And so we have this scheduled again. Please, this is open not just to BNI members, this is open to the public. I believe that if our community is thriving, if business owners across the globe are thriving, we're all going to do so well. And so one of the things, three things that I want us to work on during that time. This we will actually set up as not a webinar, as a Zoom call, where we will actually do implementation. So we'll have Zoom rooms and we'll have a number of you, thank you so much, have offered to assist. So we'll work on crafting your strategic vision to align your goals, with a clear and inspiring vision for the year ahead. and then we'll break it down. You saw that quick, the quick demo that we did with, building your power team. Well, what does that look like for your business, for you to break it down to I usually recommend do like a 12-week thing, so that you give yourself enough time to evaluate, okay, is this working? Is it not? If it's not working, do I just need a tweak, or do I need to sort of change gears and stuff? So, and then you just rinse and repeat, right? You've got it for the first quarter, and then you do it for the next quarter, and then you do it, and then, track your way toward the success that you're looking for 2025. And then with that, you can discover effective tools to track your progress. We will share effective tools to track your progress and stay accountable. We use the 4DX system, and that's what this is going to be based on as well. Just a very granular, what are your lead measures? What are your lag measures? What do I want to accomplish? What are the steps I need to take to get there? I forget who it was that said, don't be committed to your goal, be committed to your mechanisms. In other words, a lot of us have lofty goals at the beginning of the year, and we're like, here's what I want to do, here's what I'm going to accomplish, but we forget about the how, right? And so we're looking at that goal, but we're not looking at how am I going to get there? So we're going to really work on helping you identify the how to get you to your goals, and make 2025 your best year yet.
Here's a quick question from Andrew here. Says, are you aware of what models can be used to create video? Thinking for social media content and so forth.
Absolutely. Video is a whole entire, that's probably a 3-hour presentation, but yes, I have some tools that I am working with myself and others, that have been demoed to me and stuff. I'll give you an example. This week, because I've been talking in this space, I get people send me tools to evaluate and stuff. I better keep an eye on time. We're running. Okay. And this week, someone sent me an avatar. I think it's called Simly, is the name of the Simly.ai. And they said, upload a job description and upload a resume. And I was interviewed for about 10 minutes. I finally turned it off by an AI avatar. I kid you not. I hate talking to bots. I do not talk to bots. This thing was compelling. It basically, was asking me questions, and not stupid questions. They were insightful questions. And I'm sitting there going, holy smokes, like this was what we thought maybe in 2 or 3 years will be available, and it's already available in 2024. So lots of stuff available there. And David, you're very, very right. Again, like with everything else, you got to be careful with it. Some of it looks very, very robotic. You'd be shocked at some of the stuff that's out there that is not. But for sure, David, I'm sure when we do the video session, we will definitely be having a conversation. You know what? I could be wrong on that, but try that. I think it's simly.com. I have a meeting with them coming up this week to walk through some of their stuff and learn a little bit more. But anyways,
Okay.
sorry. With
Yeah,
that,
sorry. I just want to say thank you to John, who has volunteered. Just like a few other people have volunteered to help with the implementation of 4DX when we work on that. So
Awesome. We will have the chat. Daly and I will go through them, make sure that we have a list of all the people who've offered to help. And if you have expertise, maybe not even in AI, but in one of the fields that we want to share, again, our goal is now to begin to just use this as an opportunity to expose our community to BNI, to our members, to our businesses, and the things that are available, right here in Southern Alberta. So please, for those of you that are on, if you came on later, I mentioned earlier that, we had hoped to have like a breakout room type scenario for people who want to network, but unfortunately, this webinar format doesn't allow us to do that. So please add your LinkedIn profile, your I don't know, website, whatever it is however you want people to connect with you. Our goal is to bring people together because, I'm an African. One of our proverbs says, if you want to go if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I honestly believe that as a community, we are so much healthier as we stand hand in hand. So we also want to invite you to visit one of our BNI chapters. We've got 18 chapters across Southern Alberta. We've got chapters in Lethbridge, in Red Deer, and a lot of our amazing members. You heard them on, and Calgary, of course. But they would be delighted to learn more about your business and also find out how they can promote you and support you. And I'll be very honest, I do have an ulterior motive when it comes to AI. I am doing research in the space of sustainable development. And one of my desires is that we eradicate poverty right across the globe. And I believe that this is one of those tools that can help us do that as we become way more effective at doing the things that truly matter with one another. So again, I just want to thank you for being here. Here's my information. Please connect with me in LinkedIn. Daily and I executive coaches will be delighted to serve you in whatever way we can, walk alongside you as you implement AI in your business. And also, just again, want to leave you with this quote where it's Eliza Yurkowski says, by far the greatest danger of artificial intelligence is that people conclude too early that they understand it. Don't be afraid to play with it. You're not going to break anything. Nobody can really call themselves an expert in this field because it is changing by the day. But get out of it what you need to help grow your business. And I think you'll be glad you did. So with that, I want to thank everybody for coming. If there's any way I can be of assistance, Daly can be of assistance, or any of our members can be of assistance, don't forget to leave your information in the chat. I hope this was beneficial. And I'm just going to go back to, Monday, December 2nd. We would love to see you, same time. We're going to set it up so that we can together make 2025 our best year yet. Okay. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Really appreciate you. And
Good afternoon.
take care. Thank you, David. Thanks, Bola. Bolanle is a childhood friend in Australia. Glad to see you here. Thank you so much. Okay. And with that, thank you, Dr. Pat. Thanks, everyone. Okay. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, John.
All right.